Hey.
Here we are again. I'm Marilyn Nutter.
I'm April White.
And we're glad you joined us today. We are meeting once again in one of my favorite places. And I was thinking today about The Sound of Music and Julie Andrews when she sang My Favorite Things.
These are a few of my favorite things.
And
this room has got to be your favorite thing.
This is one of my favorite things in this room. Yes, that and my sunroom, or my screen porch. But Julie Andrews went through a whole list with those children. It was...
What's your favorite line? Raindrops on
Raindrops on roses. That's what I like. I'm not a fan of the whiskers on kittens.
I like the schnitzel with noodles.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm hungry actually right now. It's getting toward my supper time. I didn't eat very much lunch, but we wanted to talk today about favorites so that you get to know us a little bit better. As I think that's something I like to know. I like to know about authors. And
definitely.
You know, when I was teaching, I remember I ran into a student in the mall and he was shocked that I actually
got out,
did things.
Yeah. I remember when I found out my 4th grade teacher, who was my favorite teacher. Hi, Miss Hodges. Anyway, her first name, Barbara. I thought, oh, she has a first name? Like, you know.
You don't think they're human. You don't.
Right.
And I said to them, I said, yes, I have a life just like everyone else, you know. So that's what we wanted to do today, to tell you a little bit about our favorite things. And so, April,
okay,
what's your favorite thing?
Speed round.
Yeah, we're going to see how fast we can go. I don't know. It's getting late in the day and we're both tired, but we'll do our best. If you had to eat a food for the rest of your life, a favorite, what would it be?
Other than chocolate, chicken Parmesan.
Chicken Parmesan. Well, at least you've got some protein.
Yeah, chicken
That's
Parmesan.
better than I would say for myself. Mine would just be pasta of any type whatsoever. What about a dessert? Since we're on the calories here.
I'm going to stick with my Italian theme of tiramisu.
Tiramisu, okay. For me, I will go Italian with you, and I will say cannolis. Okay. And I showed you today the cannoli form I have, that we've made homemade cannolis. Haven't done it in a while, but that's where we are. What about your favorite travel destination?
That I want to go to, or that I've already been?
Both. Tell me both.
Okay. That's a tricky one because I've been to some good places. I like Ireland. I've been to Ireland. Now, I've not traveled a lot, but I do love Ireland. The grass is greener on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay, I've never been there. I've been to England, but I haven't been to Ireland. My favorite travel destination. Here, I had developed this whole thing for this video, and I'm stumped myself. It would be in categories. It would always be the beach for me.
Yeah, okay.
Especially if I'm with my grandchildren and we're splashing in the waves, and the beach has a tender spot for me because my husband and I lived there for 2 years when we were first married, but that will surface in another video, I think. But of course, I went to Italy, and that was absolutely hands down.
Now, if we're talking like favorite family vacation, beach or mountains, beach.
Like that too. Okay. What about color? What's your favorite color?
Red.
Really? It's my grandson's. One of my grandsons. Mine would probably be purple and shit. And I didn't realize it until I developed my website, and that's what I was gravitating towards. So I like purple. On a more serious note, Bible verse. What's your favorite Bible verse? My
life verse is Psalm 63:8. My soul clings to you, and your right hand holds me up. That one.
And you have certainly seen that come to life.
I have
in
seen
your
that.
life.
I did not know when I chose that as a life verse that I would need that as a life verse.
And you've lived it out, and we've seen that. Mine is Ephesians. That's my life verse, Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that's working in you. Not that I did it, but that God's power worked in me to do exceedingly abundantly above what I even imagined. And this writing is part of that, a fulfillment of that. I do have another verse that has carried me in my widowhood that is from Lamentations 3:22 and 23. But we'll talk more about that later. What about playing games? Do you have a favorite board game or an athletic
Yes.
type of endeavor?
If we're playing board games, I'm old. I just like Uno and I like Roomy Cube.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my family does not like to play with me that much. So,
Are you competitive? Is that why they don't like to play with you, or they just don't like to play?
maybe I might be a little bit competitive. Maybe I don't
Okay.
think that much.
My favorite at the moment is Uno because that's what my two little grandsons like to play, and so I really enjoy that. Sorry and Guess Who and those kinds of things, but Uno seems to be a little more on the adult level, and so we play that one. Holiday. Do you have a favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
What is that? Thanksgiving is your favorite holiday.
I say that slowly with some apprehension, don't I? I think Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. Yeah, I think so. I love fall, so I think it's because it's the fall holiday in the fall season. Yeah.
It is. The cider and the fires and the change of the colors and all that.
And having people over and my mom's sweet potato casserole, which is more like a dessert.
Does it have the coating on the crunchy coating on the top?
Some people make it with marshmallows. She has it with the coconut and the walnuts on it. It's more like a dessert.
Oh, I've never put coconut on mine. I've done walnuts and brown sugar, and it's like candy at the top. It was. I was introduced to that when we lived in Virginia. I think it must be a southern type of sweet potato because we always had ours just baked or having marshmallow on it. How about your favorite season?
Fall.
Fall is your favorite season. I don't know if I have a favorite season, to be honest with you. I think it used to be summer, but living in South Carolina, it's extremely hot, and so I spend more time inside than out. I like fall as well, the change of the leaves. Do you have a favorite TV show?
Oh, now see, this is where we would have to go in genres, I would have to say. I'm gonna say anything British.
You really like this. Downton Abbey was.
My family make fun of me because I love British. What it is I love historical fiction. And most historical fiction programming seems like it is British based.
I agree with you.
Don't you agree?
I agree. And they're all in an accent that's not
So I am
English, right?
PBS Masterpiece, Amazon Prime junkie when it comes to. I like historical fiction. So yes, the Downton Abbey, The Crown, All Things Great and Small, PBS, Miss Scarlet and Mr. Duke or something like that.
I haven't watched that.
I guess all of those. Endeavor.
Yeah. I tend to watch the Hallmark Channel a lot. They're very predictable.
See, I don't ever watch Hallmark channels.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Yeah. But that tends to be where I land. Whether I like the mystery ones, not the syrupy ones where it's like too good to be true kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like the mysteries there.
Yeah.
But that felt a little bit like a lightning round. I learned a little bit about you.
I like Virgin River on Netflix.
Okay.
That is not British.
Okay, well, good for you. But we all do have our favorites, and we have comfy spaces that are our favorites, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
And this is my comfy space right here. We're in my sunroom, and this is where I meet God every morning, and with my coffee and my Bible. And I'm an early riser, so I do watch the daylight appear all of a sudden. And when I went to Grief Share after my husband died, one of the recommendations was to find a comfy space, find a comfort space that will make you feel comfortable, you know, and for some people it's actually gardening, you know, and putting their hands in the dirt, and for some people it's going for a long walk, which I do that too, but it's finding a space that is going to be like a comfort food, though you can't always indulge in comfort foods or that would not be healthy. But this is my comfort space right here every morning, and I know you have one too, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I have a red chair, and my first blog and website was called Red Chair Moments, and so that's just where I met with the Lord, and so that is my favorite space. Although now that it's summertime, I like to get up early before everybody else, have my coffee, and go out. We don't have a beautiful screened-in porch, but we have a patio, and I like to go out in the patio and just listen to the birds and have my quiet time with the Lord. Lisa Turkhurst, there's a quote by her that I really do like, and she says something about, I'm going to butcher this, but she says something about sharing whispers with God before shouts with the world.
Oh wow, that's
and
golden.
I love that. So I get up and I get up and have my coffee and pad outside, and just even before I even open my Bible, I just sort of just drink in the day and just kind of exhale, and just exhale breath and exhale just burdens that are on my mind and just whatever is bothering me. Yeah.
It is important to have that quiet time in the morning, or quiet time. I mean, if you have a baby that wakes up at 6, you can't do it.
No.
But it's important to have
a routine.
a routine,
Yeah.
or a time when you can just get alone with God. And one morning, one of the Psalms spoke to me as I was in there, and I just wanted to share that with any who are listening to or watching our video. And it's like you said, lifting up your burdens or giving your burdens, because in Psalm 25, the psalmist, it was David, who said, "To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. In you I trust, O my God." And later on, he really essentially is offering prayers, and I think that's what we do when he says, "Show me your ways, O Lord, teach me, guide me, and my hope is in you all day long." And I really camped on that, and that's what God really wants to do for us. He wants us to cry out to him in a whisper before we shout to the world,
Right.
and he wants us to tell him, even though he already knows. It's like your child, you know, when you know your child would really like that ice cream cone,
But they won't admit it.
But you know, and then when they ask you, you're delighted to give it to them, you know. And so he does want to speak to us. So I think we'd share with our viewers and our readers who are reading our book, Destination Hope,
A travel companion when life
When
falls
life
apart.
falls apart, that God does want to speak to you.
He does.
You know, and it's important to find your place, find your space, no matter how short a time it is or how long a time it is.
Because it's not going to look the same. Your season of life, my season of life, is not going to look the same as a mom with littles.
Absolutely.
Who is feet in high chair and baths. I mean, when my kids were younger, it was a Bible verse on a sticky note, either on the fridge or in the bathroom mirror, and I would just recite it as I made peanut butter and jelly, or as I scrubbed their bodies. I mean, it's going to look different for every season.
In every season of life that we're in. And now, especially with the internet, to get an email, a devotion in your inbox,
Right.
to listen to a podcast if you are going for a walk, or whatever it is. There are lots of creative ways to enjoy that time, but I think we would both say that regardless of what it is, God does have a tailor-made word for you.
Tailor-made,
That
absolutely.
He will meet you exactly where you are.
Yeah.
And it might be something as simple as saying, "Oh, the psalmist David said, 'Show me. My heart is crying out to you.'" Even he said it, and he was what? A shepherd, a warrior, a
Right.
king, and he cried out to God, and so God welcomes that.
Absolutely.
So we hope that you will find a quiet space and a comfy space.
Hey, it might be at the closet.
It may be your closet, you know.
With a
at this-
flashlight.
You know, wasn't that in the movie War Room where she went into a closet?
She had her prayer
She
closet.
had her prayer closet. And again, don't be hard on yourself and think, oh, my friend spends an hour a day, or so and so spends 30 minutes a day, and I can only squeeze 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Those 10 minutes, God will multiply.
Right.
And so
Whatever you put in His hands, He
He
multiplies.
multiplies loaves and fishes, right?
Yep.
So we're glad to share that with you, our favorite things. And one of our favorite things is that we could spend time with you today. And we hope that you have enjoyed your time with us too.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.